There have been no shortage of stories talking about how companies are going to be using AI to enhance the products and improve the lives of their clients. But I'm excited to sit down with my next guest because we're going to talk about not only that, but also how AI is actually making their lives internally at the company better. Hello and welcome to Healthcare IT Today, where we explore the latest trends and interesting stories from the world of health IT. I'm Colin Hung, and I'm here in Arlington, Texas at the Greenway User Conference, and I'm about to sit down with David Cohen. He's going to talk about how the team here at Greenway Health is using AI internally to speed up their development, and I'm going to have a chance to ask him about some of the really interesting work that they're doing regarding UI and interoperability. Let's get to it. Dave, welcome back to the program.
Yeah, thanks, Colin. It's great to be here. It's been a little over a year, I think, since we last spoke, so it's great to be connecting with you again.
Yeah, I think the last time we spoke, we connected probably at a HIMSS or some
right,
other
that's
event.
right, that's right.
Always a pleasure to have you. I'm excited to sit down with you at your event here in Arlington, Texas. And let me start right off the bat with commenting on something that was said yesterday in the opening, which was Greenway is going to be AI-based. Every innovation that you're coming up with, you guys are really embracing AI. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I've obviously been working in the healthcare IT space for a long time, and it's really exciting where we're at from an industry perspective, right? This great convergence of technology that has really emerged to viably solve a lot of the challenges that the industry has been really trying to address over the last many years, right? Since we've digitized over the last decade. So it's exciting where we're at from an industry perspective, the fact that we are at where we're at with generative AI technologies. And look, I remember, working on AI projects 5 years ago, and some of the challenges were incredibly difficult, right? Things that were emerging on the scene at the time, like natural language processing and voice transcription. And those technologies have come such a long way that we're really at an inflection point as an industry.
And so you talked to me just now about the adoption of AI, not just for the products you're releasing, but internally as well. What are you using AI internally for?
Yeah, we started internally, right? So we think about this notion of how do we AI power Greenway as a company, as well as through the products that we're delivering to the market. So internally within our organization, we actually started with GitHub Copilot. Mm-hmm. We started at the end of last year in 2023 with a pilot group of engineers, and the data was incredibly successful, right? So we saw upwards of 15 to 20% productivity improvement within that small cohort. And we rolled it out then throughout our entire engineering organization. So all of our engineers are using GitHub Copilot, and it's fascinating what the technology is able to do, not just pair programming alongside engineers, but like many HR companies, we have a lot of not well documented code. And one of the nice things about GitHub Copilot and that type of technology is that it allows engineers to pick up code they might not be familiar with and use generative AI technology to explain to them what's happening. And it gives them more confidence when they're refactoring or touching that older code set. We're using some other tools like Miro Assist, which many people might be familiar with Miro, which is a digital collaboration platform. Well, Miro Assist now is an AI enablement of that platform. So we're actually using that now to ideate as a team, but then using Miro Assist to start to generate things like user stories and acceptance criteria. And it's a great tool to supplement and assist our product owners to make sure that they're thinking holistically about requirements for the new solutions that we're developing.
Now, one of the things that Pratap yesterday in his opening put you on the spot and said, bug Dave about all of the new features that have to be put out there. Is that something that you're going to be able to now do with these AI tools that really kind of help you to accelerate the pace of enhancements that you're putting out?
Absolutely. So not only do we have a lot more to do, but we've done a lot, right? And I think like many companies, like many EHRs, we were very focused on 21st Century Cures Act and hitting that milestone, right? But since then, we've been able to think a lot more about platform and innovation, right? So in the last year in particular, we've launched a slew of brand new products to the market that some of them AI-based, and many of them with AI roadmaps, right? So for example, one of the new products that we launched is called Greenway Patient Connect. And that is supplementing our patient engagement strategy, which historically, we've had a patient portal and a patient messaging platform. But now with Patient Connect, we're tying all of that together with capabilities around intake and scheduling and payments, as well with a new product we launched called Greenway Health Pay. So we're starting to tie all these things together from an ecosystem perspective. And Greenway Patient Connect already has many capabilities that are both AI-enabled and automation-enabled, right? So this, to me, is all about how we're assisting practices by using technology and to automate a lot of their workflow, right? So one of the capabilities, as an example, is AI capabilities that can understand and interpret patient messages and then be able to generate an AI response to that message or route that message to the right person in the practice is able to respond. Another capability of Greenway Patient Assist is around waitlist management. So it's obviously a huge problem for practices, right? Patients are on the schedule, they no-show or they call in and cancel. What is the practice going to do to fill that spot? So Greenway Patient Connect has an automated waitlist management capability where patients can get on the waitlist for a visit, and then it can automatically fill that appointment schedule for the practice. So it's capabilities like that that are assisted by technology to help automate the practice and really make their lives easier and capture more revenue in the process.
I was just going to ask you what some of the exciting things you're working on, but you covered quite a number there. And one of the things that I've heard that you're also working on is really consolidating the UI across Greenway. Can you tell me more about that project?
Sure. So last year we started working on a Greenway design system that we call Greenway Elements. And if you're familiar with modern design systems, it's everything from color schemes to buttons to fonts, and it's all codified. So when engineers are writing new user interfaces, they're really just leveraging components of the design system. So the value of that is, I think Greenway has a world-class design team. Our UX team is unparalleled, and we've designed and created this design team, this design system to be, modern, fully web responsive, ADA compliant, which is also very important. And now we're starting to plug that design system into our products. So we've put it into our clearinghouse, one of our PM systems, our telehealth solution. It's going to permeate throughout our entire solution portfolio and really give the entire suite of Greenway solutions a consistent look and feel and something that users can be very familiar with and delight, right? The goal, of course, is to delight. One of the next products that we are working on integrating this technology in is aligned with another new product, Greenway Clinical Assist. So Greenway Clinical Assist is an ambient clinical documentation solution that basically automates the documentation capability for practices. We are working now on building a new EHR workflow experience, combining Greenway elements with some of the AI capabilities behind Greenway Clinical Assist. Right, so we're now taking this kind of convergence of where technology is in the industry to take a step back and say, hey, if we were to reimagine what a physician workflow experience could look like using these breadths of technology, what would it be? So we're taking that step, and we have plans next year to deliver the first phases of that new experience, tying together the ambient documentation along with our new design system experience.
And you obviously got a lot of projects on the go right now. Is there any one in particular that's really got you excited that you're working on?
Well, one of the more exciting things for me is the work that we're doing in what we're calling Greenway Data Cloud, right? So if you think about Greenway, like many EHRs, we have disparate systems. But Greenway Data Cloud enables us to bring the data from all of those clients together on one platform and be able to drive innovation from that. So some of the first products that we've released is a product called Greenway Insights, which is a modern regulatory reporting platform. We're doing CQMs, MIPS, UDS reporting for our tribal or for our FQHC clients. We're now working on kind of next phase innovation on top of that cloud data platform. So we are working on delivering electronic case reporting, which is I know something that the CDC has on the market. Sure. So we're finally getting there with that solution. But it's great to be able to do that on a singular data platform, Greenway Data Cloud. We're also working now on some next generation capabilities around modernizing our patient search capabilities, building Gen AI patient summarization, and then working on how we can do care gaps and population health reporting and analytics, all on Greenway Data Cloud. So we spent the last couple of years getting to this point now where we have a very modern, aggregated, normalized data stack, with a cloud partner, AWS, and now starting to drive and see that acceleration of innovation, which I think is something that's really exciting, right? It's all about the acceleration of innovation and how fast you can go. So that's why a lot of the things that we're doing, both internally to drive productivity and also help our clients be more productive as well, are really exciting.
Yeah, I got to switch topics on you a little bit because AI definitely dominating the conversation that most of us are having, but a topic that we should really be talking more about, and I'm curious to know what you guys are doing there, is of course interoperability. Right? We've been talking about this for a decade.
Yeah.
What are you doing to improve interoperability, or what have you done to improve that recently?
One of my favorite topics, Colin. So as you know, I'm also, one of my side jobs on the board of the Commonwealth Health Alliance. So this is something that takes a lot of my thought and time, is not just thinking about Greenway's position around interoperability, but where we're going as an industry around interoperability. And we're obviously, I think, at an inflection point with TEFCA coming onto the scenes and Commonwealth, becoming a certified QHIN, but still a lot to be figured out around how national interoperability is going to work and how QHIN to QHIN interactions are really going to play out. But I'll tell you, from a Greenway perspective, I think we're very well positioned. That's one of the reasons we've been focused on building Greenway Data Cloud, is that we can have a pre-compiled FHIR data store so that we can be very responsive and interactive with our FHIR capabilities, both outbound and soon inbound FHIR capabilities, preparing for that bidirectionality. And we're working on shoring up those interoperability workflows as well within our EHR systems. But again, there's still a lot to be figured out around how QHINs are actually going to play out. And as the industry transitions from primarily CCDA-driven data exchange now to discrete FHIR, that's also something I think is really going to hopefully move the industry forward, right? Because CCDAs are just very cumbersome to work with, I'll say. So we're excited about where the industry is going and hopefully opening up the breadth of data, with the FHIR expansion that's coming with HTI-1, that we'll be able to have a much larger data set to share across the industry.
And is there anything you're doing? You talk a lot about the interoperability on the backside, where you're sharing the data that's housed inside Greenway a little bit easier. What about on the inbound side? Are you tapping more into different resources to gather that longitudinal record that I'm sure some of your practices would love to have whenever a new patient shows up day one in their offices?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's critically important for our clients, right? We service the independent ambulatory market. So by definition, all of our clients exist in communities with larger health systems, in acute care centers. So it's critically important for our clients not just to have data outbound, but data inbound as well. And unfortunately, the industry is still predominantly driven by faxes at that local level, sure. Right? So that's one of the things that we're really focused on, is how can we better support that bidirectionality of data. And again, moving from CCDAs to FHIR, so now we're thinking about and working on what our inbound fire strategy is, just thinking about where the puck is going as an industry and how we can better facilitate those different interoperability workflows for our clients.
You've shared a ton of great information with us on the program. Where can people go to learn more about what you're doing at Greenway?
Well, obviously they can go to greenwayhealth.com as well as our various social media channels.
Awesome. Always a pleasure to have you on the program. And yes, the next time we talk, we'll probably be talking about AI and interoperability.
I think so, absolutely. the great industry challenges.
There you go. There you go. Well, appreciate your time, man.
Thank you. It's great to see you again.
Hey, I want to thank David for coming on camera with me and sharing how they're using AI internally here at Greenway to speed up and accelerate their time to market when it comes to developing new features for their clients. I also appreciated David indulging me in talking about interoperability and what they're doing and what's happening with the state of interoperability in healthcare. Not an easy topic to talk about. And hey, if you enjoyed this interview as much as I did, please like and subscribe. Also, head on over to healthcareittoday.com where you can find more great content like this. I'm Colin Ahung here in Arlington, Texas. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you on the next video.